he's won. Is there going to be a rematch? Who knows? It's going to really, the way I see it, the whole thing really, it's relying on what Jake Paul wants. I think he's holding all the cards. Yeah, from what I can see. So, but I think it was agreed in the contract, wasn't it? So, whatever the outcome, they have to have a rematch, isn't it?
No, I think it might be only on Jake's side because they actually talked about that at that face-to-face. Because Jake says he's no idea how he got that. That got there. His manager must have put it in. And Tyron said, if I knew, he goes, because he said something then about, if my manager said about a rematch clause, I would have said no. I think, don't quote me on this, because I would be so confident in beating you. So I don't think Tyron had one. I think Jake had one if he lost, not if Tyron lost.
Okay. No, I didn't know that. So it's almost like a one-sided thing.
Yeah, Jake claimed he didn't know about it. His manager must have put it in.
Oof, okay. All right.
So Tyron should have gotten Jake's manager and got that. Like Tyron should have went and looked for a rematch clause as well, because he knew how much money he was going to make, and if he potentially lost, to make sure you can legally get that second fight then, because it's in the contract. And anything in America, contracts are usually watertight. You know, so if he didn't get it, he'd be compensated. So he should have looked for one, but it doesn't. I don't quote me on that now, but I don't think he did. I don't think he did get one. Jake only has one if he loses, or had one if he lost.
There's a lot of rumors and accusations going around about Jake Paul's performance in this fight. Was he taking PEDs? Was he taking steroids? And a statement that Tyron Woodley made about the drugs test. I think there should have been drugs tests, but there wasn't.
Yeah, he actually said that in the thing before. He said you could be on PEDs, and I think Jake actually said, "Sure, we're getting drug tested, aren't we?" But then it actually came out that only the fights for the championships, I think the only championship belt was Serrano and I can't remember the girl's name, the Mexican girl. I think that was the only title fight. So only title fights were tested for PEDs. So Jake and Tyron weren't.
Okay.
But I think Tyron said he'd beat him on PEDs anyways. Like, don't make that statement and then if you lose, turn around and bitch that he's on PEDs.
Because a lot of people do that when they lose to someone, especially when it's someone who they don't like. I think they'll do anything just probably to it's like being a sore loser. They just can't let it go. You lost, but you won't let it go. You won't let it go. You won't let it lie. It could be one of those things, but I don't know. Just it kind of, some people were even saying that he was paid to win. The other side was paid to lose. I saw that somewhere on YouTube or Instagram that there's some sort of shady background deals are being made, that not some guys, but one of these guys was paid to win, the other person was paid to lose.
I don't buy that. I don't buy it. It's whenever these fights come around though, like Ben Askren, Conor McGregor, like when all these big attractions, circus freak shows come out, this is when you get the "it was fixed" brigade, right? I don't think so. I think it was just Tyron the way he's been the past 3 years, and because I think he could have. I think Jake gassed him like the third, fourth, and fifth. I think, and I think he could have taken him out if he'd put the pressure on, and then I think he got a second wind later on, but I think it was just he was too timid. He didn't let loose, and that was the problem. That's all there was too. When he got him against the ropes, he let him come back up, and they moved around. Like once he comes back up, go again. Like just end it there and then. I think this is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not gonna get hung up on it or anything like that, but for me, this may sound silly, this may sound far-fetched. For me, it was for Jake Paul probably an easy-ish fight, because you're dealing with someone who boxing isn't their complete, what's the word he use? Tyron Woodley is a mixed martial arts
So he
fighter.
doesn't get to use his complete arsenal of weapons. No, is that what you're trying to say?
No, it's like when you're talking about someone's craft, what they're good at, what they're known for,
Oh,
almost
like a
like their job.
master.
Well, we know that boxing isn't his forte. It isn't his what he does on a
What?
regular basis.
Yes, not his primary weapon, so to speak.
Just until because I noticed Jake Paul never calls a proper professional boxer. Maybe not elite level, but he never fights someone who has been a boxer since day one. So far as the people who are boxers, okay, the first, the one, two, or third person he's boxed, they weren't professional boxers. They weren't combat sports athletes to begin with. The other two being Askren and Woodley, they were mixed martial arts fighters. They were not boxers, but he hasn't fought a proper professional boxer. And the closest they've come to doing that was probably when Logan Paul fought Floyd Mayweather, and even then, that was an exhibition fight. There wasn't going to be a winner or a loser.
Yeah, like I said, he gets them for the name value. He gets them for the name value. Ben Askren retired. Tyron Woodley's been released, all on the decline as opposed to going up. He's not fighting anyone that young. He probably won't fight a boxer unless he fights Tommy next. Because I heard Tommy got a good pop out of the crowd. So if you got a good pop out of the crowd, that might make money. But I wouldn't have thought so before this, but maybe it would. He's just gonna go. He's gonna go for whoever he wants. Like, he holds the cards. All the UFC fighters are looking to fight him. Like, they're all
Just for the
called it. Like,
money.
yeah, it's the
For the
money. And
money
then what
now.
does that say about the UFC? If Jake Paul, a YouTuber, can pay fighters more than the organization they're in.
Oh, but at the same time, other the big names in boxing, the legendary names who, even those who are no longer maybe no longer around, but they don't count, but those who are retired, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, the retired names, the guys who don't box anymore, I'm sure they will agree with me that something like this degrades that the level,
Mike
the
Tyson likes the
standard.
pause with us. He's been on their podcast. They've been on his.
What the hell's going on?
Have you? I'm going to send you clips. He likes them.
No, I remember seeing that somewhere. I was just hoping that maybe I misheard. I misheard or misremembered what they were saying in that episode. But I think, yeah, you're right. He does like them. Why does he like them? Why?
I don't know. Maybe because they must be training hard. They must be doing the right things. They're in Puerto Rico training. They set up a campaign against bullies, boxing for bullies or something. Like, maybe it's because it's bringing attention back to the sport, be it good, be it bad. It's still bringing attention back to the sport.
Oh God, this is a change. I'm just gonna have to suck it up, and just get used to it because it's
It's
here
only
to
going to be
stay.
around for another year. So I'd say it's only around for another year. So just don't watch it. Don't listen to him. Block him on all your social media. Block anyone that mentions him. I won't talk about him again if you don't want me to. Look, this it's not what we can do. He won. He holds all the cards. He's in the power position. It's whatever he wants to do next.
The goofing around, the messy hair, the tattoos everywhere. Oh, got your hat, got your hat.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, but
Even at that.
he got a punch or two for that as well, and he looked like he was crying, getting dragged into the dressing room.
But he's gonna keep on doing it because he wants to bring more eyes to the sport, bring more attention to the sport. Oh, but you know what? He's won. Let's see what happens in the next one. If the next one's gonna be a lot more interesting, if the next one includes a boxer such as Tommy Fury, that'll be very, very interesting because it'll be a much more closer, much more even matchup. They're close in age, so they'll be how can I say? they'll probably be moving around at the same speed. They're not going to tire out so easily because they're still in that young age bracket.
Yeah, I think they're both 24. I think they're both the exact same age. I think.
I think no,
Yeah, I think.
Tommy is about 22,
Oh,
and
is he?
yeah, and Paul is about 24, 25, but it's
Oh,
not
okay.
around the same age.
Yeah, so they're
So
still young in the early 20s.
yeah. But let's see what happens in that fight. I mean, I'm sure Paul will have to make sure that he gets another rematch clause in the contract. Like that's if he wants to go ahead in the first place. But I saw some of the excuses that he had made as to whether he's going to go ahead and fight, take up Tommy Fury on his offer to fight him. And I think he just said something like, having that fight now probably wouldn't make sense. Like his YouTuber friend Tuesday Fusey said he's not there yet. But let's see what happens.